mock-up matrix from the diagnostic wax-up that we've created preoperatively. This will act as a reduction guide for us. And so this gives us a nice preview of the direction that we're going to ultimately wind up with right here. We'll have a few modifications to make, but that looks pretty good. First thing I'm going to do is go through with a depth cutter right here, and we're going to make our depth cuts incisally and facially throughout, right through the luxatemp here, or the protemp, excuse me, and this is going to begin to be our guide of how much reduction we're going to have to do on each of these teeth. I like to always start out incisally, do my depth guide reduction there. One of the things in technique of preparation that I like to follow is if I hold the burr, vertical to the long axis of the tooth, the tendency there, particularly when I'm designing my gingival margin, you have to be very cautious with that because you can over reduce in the middle third of the tooth. So what I like to do initially is actually angle my burr at about a 45-degree angle, as though I'm drawing and scribing a little line, a little margin right along this. And once I do that and follow my principles of prep design, then I can come back in and then put the burr more vertically. This is a reduction guide, of course, and what we're doing with this is kind of determining kind of where we stand after preparation in terms of the facial reduction of our preparations. And open for me. There are a couple spots I still see here that I'm going to have to go in and kind of reshape and add a little bit, take a little bit more off to give the adequate space that we need. Okay. Most of the time what you'll hear from the ceramist is when there are errors made in reduction, it's usually in that incisal 1/3. So the great thing about the reduction guide is to confirm that you have the adequate reduction. If you don't, you can simply go back in and gain it just as I am. What I'm going to do now is maybe touch a spot gingivally. This is a laser that micro laser by Zyla, and this is a fantastic little instrument to use here. You can see it's got a little LED screen on it. You can adjust the wattage that you want through these arrows. It allows you to go to predetermined, you can't see it here really well, but predetermined procedures, troughing, frenectomy, gingivectomy, all of those things are all preset here. So if you want to go to it and just where they're pre-programmed in, just push that little button there and it'll take you right to the wattage. It also affords you the opportunity just to set your wattage to what it is that you want. And the great thing too is you can see how the tip of this is. It's just a great instrument. It's very light, and how this works is these tips are removable and disposable. That you can see here. This is, let me get you in the camera to get that, but this fits right over the top of the laser, and that's all there is to it. There is a wireless foot pedal to it that you can't see here on the floor, but it's so light and so functional. It really has made a great difference in how we go in and do what we do in setting up our cases gingivally, and even taking impressions, but they're going in and just simply troughing around these areas very gently to expose the margins as we would want them to be in applications that you would need that. Well, this concludes our procedure. What we have done at this point is provisionalized all the areas that we've prepared. You can see that right there. We will certainly take records of the length and of an impression of this to use that as a means of communication to our laboratory technician. I always follow up this appointment with a post-op when the patient is not anesthetized, to enable us to more accurately evaluate the length that we have, and certainly the phonetics of the changes that we've made in length can impact the phonetics and the speech patterns a little bit. So we're just going to post-op here at about 24-48 hours, evaluate the length again, and make sure that our incisal edge position is exactly where we want it to be, and then we'll convey that to our laboratory technician for the construction and fabrication of the restorations. Thank you.
To view this program in its entirety and hundreds more, visit hdIQdental.com and save significantly as a Dentistry Today reader. Simply enter DT 2013 at the promo code.